for her.
Surely you can do better than that. I don't owe any of you money. Try again. Clap again. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Jessica. Thanks, Tony. All right. Before we begin, show of hands. Who is a content creator? Why are you people shy? It is not a taboo. Who wants to be a content creator? Who has thought about becoming a content creator? Who wants to do content creation as a side hustle because the economy is kicking you in the behind? So yeah, I see we are all aligned. Now, the reason we're all here today is to look at whether the algorithm is gatekeeping creators in the global south from reaching their true potential. So this is going to be a really great conversation. We have Tony Ndongo here. We have Jessica Colasso here, who are pioneers in tech. And if she makes it here on time, we're going to have Nabwire Wandera. Fingers crossed. It's raining. And have they crossed Kenyatta Avenue yet? Have they closed it crossed? Have they closed Kenyatta Avenue yet? Yeah. Welcome, Nabwire. Yeah, she's here as well. So one of the reasons that we are here today is to really look at the business of the digital economy. What does it mean? What obstacles are we facing? African creators being treated fairly, number one, by the algorithm, and number two, by the platforms in which we want to make our homes and our money, right? And then, of course, because it's a conversation that can get a little hectic, we have a comedian over there. I'm sure you've seen him on social media. He's mad funny, even though I met him when he was shy. I don't know why they're like this. They're hilarious, and then you meet them in person, and it's like, oh, hi, how are you doing? Hi, Amandeep. Hi, how are you doing? So he's going to be making us laugh today. And then also, if anyone has heard of the great Zaituni Wamboi, she's going to be serenading us much later. I was talking to her earlier, and I told her she definitely makes sex music. So this is the weather for her music. If you're here with your person, start looking at each other in advance, because when you go home, I promise, you will pray. Anyway, so I hope, again, as Ian said, please keep your phones on silent. This is a live recording, all right? Keep your phones on silent. Also, I know the conversation can get a little interesting and you want to turn to your neighbor and be like, hey, this is really interesting. However, I want to tell you, your voices will be picked up by the camera. So I don't think you want your private conversation streaming live on YouTube, right? So let's be mindful of that. But, right now we are starting the conversation, but we can't start without laughing a bit. So ladies and gentlemen, Amandeep Singh.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Good, fantastic. My name is Amandeep. I am a comedian, as she said. I am also, how do I say this? Older millennial, younger Gen Z, I have lived through this growth of this technology, Bro, the algorithm knows me better than me, Sometimes when I don't know what I'm feeling, I actually just go look at my Instagram Explore page. And I know what I'm going through, If I see kittens and puppies, I know I'm happy, I know I'm depressed. If I see Andrew Tate, wake up, meat, brush your teeth, meat, shower, meat, breakfast, eggs. I know I'm getting old because when I'm seeing Viagra ads, they are hinting at something, these guys, Now, man, I'm glad we live in the future. I think as Kenyans, we take for granted what we live in, We live in the future, man. We are the first ones to, pay for goods and services with our phone, bro. That felt, like you live in a modern society. Just, pow, you can send money through the phone, Back in the days, when I wanted lunch money, I'd call my father. Like that, I did money. He'd walk all the way from industrial area, give me my 350 for lunch, and then walk all the way back. Now he just sends manze, Have you ever been to a place that has no mobile money option? You feel like you're in a third world country. Like, what is this, Uganda in 2025? Why is there no... What do you guys do, barter trade? Are we still doing barter trade in this economy, manze? Yeah, I mean, she did talk about the global south, right? You just mentioned it. I don't know what it means. So I'm guessing it means South Africa. I was in South Africa recently, actually. I was doing a comedy tour. And before I went there, I was so worried, because you read the news, you ask a friend, yo, man, ask my black friends, I'm like, yo, man, is it, can you talk to your connections in South Africa and let me know if, it's the right time for me as a foreigner to go to South Africa? He's like, Amma, don't worry. That is just a small group of people. It's not that big. It's just media sensationalization. I'm like, no, man, it seems a bit serious. It's on CNN. This is not KBC Manenos. This is real news. He's like, come on, even if it's true, look at the people they're chasing away. Look at the color of their skin. You'll be fine. Like, yo, bro, you're right. I will be fine, actually. I was very fine. I just called myself Cape Malay and no one could tell the difference. But South Africa was an interesting place, man. I did what every person does when you go to a place that has the beach, the ocean, I went to the beach, and I went away. Slay. I get carried away sometimes. I went to the beach in Cape Town and I did the mistake of wearing my shorts and underwear. A rookie mistake. I don't know if you know this, but the ocean is filled with sand. If you go for a swim, there are very many ways sand can get in, but very few ways it can get out. What I'm trying to say is my booty is filled with so much sand, man. There's so much. It dribbles behind me every time I walk, man. It's like an upside down hour clock. It's like a sand trail, And me, I'm Indian, So much hair. Oh my God, so much hair. It's like a fish net, it just traps it, and I wash. It's still there, man. It's like sandpaper, All my poops are coming out polished. I don't even flush. They just... Oh, that woke you up. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not apologizing. So my chest. I went there with my girlfriend. She's one of those people that believe in manifesting. Clap if you manifest. You see, it's usually the ladies, the girlies, Never seen like a guy, like a guy. Like a guy. I have a vision board, like a rugby. No, it's always the girlies, because it works for them, Because what is one rule of manifesting? Live your life as if what you want has already come true.
Yeah.
Delusion. Who are more delulu? Men, I don't think we are wired like that, I think men, as we are more straightforward in our thinking, more realistic. Like, for example, if our hairline starts going back, we can't manifest it to come back, You have to take some steps, you gotta make some moves, Either option one, you accept, you just shave it off, and accept all your friends are gonna call you Mr. Stone Cold for the rest of your life, Or, pretend you follow a religion that tells you to wear a turban so no one can know how far your hairline has gone. Unrelated. Or three, if you have money, you go to Turkey. You tell a doctor, fix this. And the doctors tell you, bend over, and then you bend over, and then they pluck booty hair, and they super glue it over here, Now you have a hairline, but the hair is always like this, you know. You look like Ed from Ed, and Eddie, you know. Come on, boys. Jawbreakers, you know. No matter how much you comb this hair, it's always going to be like this. Because you can remove the hair from the ass, but you can't remove the ass from the hair. And with that, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My name has been Amandeep. Thank you for having me, guys. Oh, by the way, I just want to say, please keep the claps going because it's been a year since you guys started. So happy 1 year.
Yay!
Congratulations, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Amandeep and his obsession apparently with booty hair. Ladies and gentlemen. All right, now before we embark on our panel discussion, we have a video prepared for you by Siasa Place, and we're going to be looking at the plight of the cab drivers that operate within the ride-sharing app ecosystem. All right, I don't know if you're ready to have that up. Let's go.
We all know that frustration when our rider calls and asks us, unaenda wapi? Imeleta ngapi? But have we ever stopped to ask ourselves why? Because behind these everyday interactions is a system that research shows is becoming more and more exploitative.
Okay?
A recent report by Siasa Place on Kenya's gig economy has revealed we all know that frustration when our rider calls and asks us, unaenda wapi? Imeleta ngapi? But have we ever stopped to ask ourselves why? Because behind these everyday interactions is a system that research shows is becoming more and more exploitative. A recent report by Siasa Place on Kenya's gig economy has revealed just what these drivers have to go through, from facing low earnings to high operational costs and vague systems that determine who gets work, how much they get paid, and if they continue getting any work at all. I'm just curious to know, do you think there's a system that affects the ride requests that drivers get?
Yeah, I can say definitely. On the rides, it depends maybe with your ratings and all those things. They are the part of the system. Maybe I can say it affects your requests or how much you receive rides.
Do cancellations affect, like if you cancel a ride, does it affect you being able to get others?
If as a driver, you cancel the ride, you yourself, not the client, actually affects you much more compared to when the client cancels.
What are some of these reasons that you might have for not wanting to accept a trip?
First of all, I can say safety. Maybe you might accept, you might see the trip where it's taking you, it's not safe. Secondly, the distance where you are going to pick up the client. Thirdly, I can say maybe you find the place that you are going to pick the client, the traffic, and even the client himself or herself. Once you call the client, maybe you are finding you are not understanding each other. So I can say maybe those are the part of the contributions that you find you do not accept.
For you to say you've had a good day doing this business, how much are you able to earn in a day?
Currently, it's very hard to say how much you can earn in a day because things are getting tough and tough every day, especially because fuel prices are up. The app companies have lowered the prices. There is so much discounts being given to the customer. So actually, it's very hard to say, but on a normal day, you can take 1,000 home.
Okay.
Yes, between 700 and 1,000 home.
So are you as a driver aware of the forces that determine pricing?
We are not aware of how they calculate all the algorithms that they use. Because one time if you do a calculation, you will not get the real amount that they get from you.
What about your safety, especially as a female driver? How much do you trust the platforms, the cab-hailing platforms, to protect your interests and your physical safety?
Of course, I don't trust them. Many times they say they have an SOS, and many times you'll ring the SOS and nobody appears. Or rather, when you try to report some case, they'll always side with the customer. They don't listen to drivers. So at the end of the day, you may end up losing even your account.
Oh my.
Yes.
How is this affecting you, your family, your mental and even physical well-being?
Most drivers right now have mental issues. A lot of mental health being noticed with our drivers. Most of them, few of them have died in the cars, as it has been reported. We find that we can't feed our families. Our houses are locked. It's working on our physical, especially the lady drivers. You know, sitting long hours works on our backs. So most lady drivers will not be able to do so many things because of sitting for long hours. It's really affecting us psychologically, physically. And you see, you have no money in your pocket. You see, if it was affecting you that way and you have money in your pocket, that would make sense. But it doesn't make sense now.
I think that's really interesting that people can be working within an app and not to know how the algorithm that governs how they make money works. I think that's really interesting, and we will be getting into that among many other things with this discussion. But first, let me introduce our esteemed panel. First of all, sitting right here next to Jessica Francisca Colasso. So she's an entrepreneur, a computer scientist, an ecosystems builder, and the co-founder of iHub. With an experience of over 15 years. Damn, Jessica, it's been that long. Her work spans strategic and operational growth in startups across technology, logistics, and creative industries. Let's give her a hand. And then we have Tony Ndongo, who, first of all, we worked in the same radio station. Did you know that Tony Ndongo has also been a radio presenter, and a pretty good one too, but also he is a technologist, digital marketer, and the co-founder of NILAB. With over 2 decades of experience spanning education, finance, and the public sector, his work has revolved around deploying AI and technology infrastructure for Africa. So at the core of his work is a belief that Africans should take the lead in the design of AI systems designed for the African continent. Let's give Tony a hand. And finally, we have Nabwira Wandera, who is an AI and tech consultant. Her work has centered on churning out educational material on how AI can be deployed to research better, automate repetitive work, and solve real problems for the benefit of everyday Africans. Welcome, Nabwira. Let's give a hand. All right, so this first question is for the three of you, right? So algorithms essentially have been described as the invisible gatekeepers, deciding who gets seen, who gets hired, who gets funded, and so on, right? And especially who gets monetized. So from where the three of you sit, especially in your respective spheres of interest, how have these systems evolved over time in the African context? I think we can start from Jessica and take it that way.
Thank you very much, Shiro. So just to give an overview of what algorithms are, basically it's logic, right? It's rules that are written by humans and then coded to machines to give them insights on what the input versus the output should be. Good?
Yeah, now we're good.
All right.
Yeah.
So most of these algorithms that we're using right now on big tech are actually developed by the Western world. Yeah. So there's a way that algorithms developed by the Western world are actually work. And really, when you actually, in the world of computer science, when it comes to actually training the algorithms, you need to give them data. And this is what we call machine learning. So for the African context, what has happened, I remember a company called Somersource at that point in time when it was actually helping Facebook at that point to actually have more localized content and help the algorithms understand local context. So Somersource actually had an army of people actually going through content and either marking it or flagging it in order to actually train the Facebook algorithms. So what I actually emphasize is that algorithms actually are like a machine. They need data, they need intelligence, they need insight in order for them to become more intelligent. And for the African context is that we still are a long way for these algorithms to actually understand our culture, our ecosystem, and become more localized. So we are still at the nascent stages, Shiro, when it comes for like big tech companies like TikTok and Instagram to really give visibility to our creative sector. Would love to hear the other point of view.
Yes, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the question in general and what she said in particular.
I didn't understand the question, actually. Do you want to just because she answered it very comprehensively, but just ask me one more time.
You want me to? Okay. So basically, these systems, these algorithms, right, which have been described as the invisible gatekeepers, from where you sit, how have these systems evolved over time on the African continent? And Jess has said that, to begin with, the issue is that they're not created here, they're created in the Western world, and this comes with its own set of issues. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
An algorithm is a mathematical equation. Jessica's a phenomenal mind in technology. She's outlined it for you. You know what she's saying. It's a mathematical equation that leads to one quality, optimization.
Right.
And it optimizes one of two things: profit or attention. Nothing else. If Amandeep likes cats, if he looks at one cat, it says Amandeep has a 50% chance he'll like a cat again.
So then now they'll start showing you all the cats.
It starts showing you more cats.
Yeah.
And the thing about algorithms is that they're fluid. They don't stay.
Yeah.
Once you understand optimization, whatever it is for you is different for what it is for you, but we're all in the African continent. The same optimization works around the world.
Right.
It's unfair to think that algorithms for this continent are different from algorithms anywhere else because it's math. Math is not racist. It's very important for me to mention that. Okay. And the same then applies to taxi drivers. The reason why you are now seeing that there are cars that drive themselves is because of the same problem that not applies in Nairobi. It also applies in LA. Yeah. Applies in Paris. So Uber driver owners, the guys who own the cars, have to deal with the fact that the same cab driver here saying that she's not getting paid enough has a similar cousin or nephew or somebody from somewhere in Paris saying the same thing, or somebody in LA saying the same thing, and that's why you're seeing Waymo's coming up. Driverless cars. My point is, a lot of the time, and a lot of people don't get this, sorry, I apologize. A lot of the challenges that we have as a stack of users is we don't appreciate that you are the product. The most expensive thing today is attention, and my algorithm gets your attention. That my company is a $1 billion company or a multi-billion dollar company. So if we stop looking at the algorithm as the issue and start looking at our attention as the issue, then we take the power back to ourselves. Okay. So I have a bit of a contradictory approach to the conversation.
We'll get to Nabira first because Jess has thoughts. She caught my eye immediately. Oh no, she gave me the filthiest side eye, but we'll get to you. Nabira, what are your thoughts on what has been said so far?
Hey, I think sitting on this end is a bit tricky because they have said most of the things and now there are two sides, but it's okay. So I feel I agree with both, and algorithms are a bit biased in this way. So if you're in terms of content, so if you're in Kenya and you produce content in Swahili, it will be pushed towards the Swahili speaking countries. Right. Unless you're speaking in English, then it will be pushed to a wider audience. Just that basic thing. So that's a bit biased.
Like from that most basic level.
Yes.
So the language I speak determines how far my content travels.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, that's true. Because you cannot push, I don't know which language, you cannot push Spanish to me, yet I do not know. I will not see content that is produced in Spanish. They won't push it to me. Otherwise, I'll get out of the platform. Yeah. Right? So in that basic way, then algorithms are a bit biased. However, I support what he says that it looks at two things.
Attention and profit.
And mostly attention. Right. So in terms of quality and all, that's something different. But so long as people are watching, people like your content and they're staying more in the platform, then your content will be pushed. Yeah. Whether you're black or white, it will still be pushed.
Jess, do you agree? Because I saw the moment which you turned and caught my eye was when he said math isn't racist. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'll put on two hats, right? I'll put on the hat of a computer scientist, and then I'll put on a hat from a psychology perspective, right? So yes, math math is biased. Right? That's another way of saying math is racist. Math is biased. And why I say this is because in the world of computer science, when you create an algorithm, 1 plus 1 is 2.
Right.
It is not going to give you if, how. That is the way it understands it, right? And while Tony did mention that you cannot take away from the 1 plus 1 is 2, it'll give you the absolute figure. I think I bring across what we call bias. Yeah, and there's what we call cognitive bias according to how humans perceive what they see.
Okay.
And I'll bring this to the analogy of algorithms. What you feed them is what the output is.
Right.
Basic computer science again. Garbage in, garbage out.
Right.
Correct? The more we train these algorithms on data that is not localized and does not come from the continent, it will be biased. Correct? TikTok, Instagram, they are big tech companies.
Right.
They want profit.
Yeah.
What will they do? Of course, they're going to ask for your attention, won't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how we end up doom scrolling for hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, Shiro,
Yes, Jessica.
why? Sorry, this is a conversation. Shiro knows me since I was a teenager, so we go
first
way
of all,
back.
by the part of our lore, we've known each other since we're in primary school. So
Yes.
it's for real.
Yeah. So I want the power to come back to us as the user.
Right.
And I was having a conversation today with a 20-year-old who has actually studied philosophy, and she was giving me really good insights of how technology is actually perceived across the continent. And she actually says, the way we actually perceive technology on social media can give you a one world view, right? So for the young, and I'm talking about this for the content creators,
Right.
who are the young content creators, what do you see? You see someone who's living a flashy life, someone who has a very high profile lifestyle, and trust me, that is what a young person sees when they go online.
Right.
Right? So that is the bias it creates, meaning that we have this inspiration that our life as a young person should be
Should look
a
a certain
content
way.
creator and an influencer. And I'm speaking from facts. Today afternoon with this 22-year-old, she actually mentioned that if we do not read books, if we do not engage in other activities,
Touch
and we
grass.
just focus on social media,
Yeah.
which is algorithm driven, my friend, right? And if we don't control our attention, if we do not control our attention in the right way, then the algorithms are going to work for profit. There's one person, Tony, your time will come. There's one person called...
I love this panel so much.
There's one
guys.
person called Cedric Zomo. Go check him out. outputs that you do want.
All right.
I think we are at a stage where we are allowing the algorithms and the platforms to kind of like work for them. How do we make the algorithms work for you? By shifting their attention to what you want them to pay attention to.
And how do you do that?
Let's hear from Tony. He's the math guy, right?
Right.
She just dropped me into that one. I was coming back against what she said before.
No, you can rebut and then we can proceed.
Okay, just say again what I'm supposed to do. Because I was ready for the previous situation. Then you just dropped it. What am I supposed to do?
You're providing a rebuttal. You know the point where you raise
Okay, I
your
will
hand.
not do the rebuttal. First I'm going to answer the thing she
Please.
said Tony should answer. Okay,
Yes.
so algorithms work on compounding.
Right.
The math of compounding. You do a video, the first 10 people who watch it are in your immediate circle.
Okay, I want you to explain to me like
Compounding? Which one?
I drool.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, talk to me like yeah.
The concept of compounding is the concept of putting something like an investment
Right.
in a piece of stock. We are together.
Yes.
Then the company starts doing really well. As the company does really well and it gets more customers, the value of the company increases. As the company's value increases, the value of your stock increases.
Right.
Because you own a piece of the company. Content works the same way.
Yeah.
You create a piece of content. The first 10 people the content is shown to, if more than 80% of them watch to the end of the content, that piece of content is boosted to another 100. If 100 people watch that piece of content to 80% of the content, that piece of content is boosted to another 1,000.
Right.
Shiro, you've been viral multiple times. We're talking millions of views. The piece of content that you created, when you created it, you had no data that piece of content would scale.
Yeah.
You had nothing.
None. I had no. When I go viral, I never know it's
You
going
never know it's going to
Yeah.
happen. And sometimes it happens when you post it. Sometimes it happens 3 months later.
Right.
And predominantly it is because the issue you're speaking about has a general consensus amongst many people and they're already looking for that piece of content.
Yeah.
So people will watch it to its end. Now, that is an algorithmic equation. It is not because you are black or you are white or you are in Kenya or you are not. It is an equation that says if 10 people like what you create, there's a likelihood that 10 more people will like it.
Right.
And then 1,000 more people will like it.
Yeah.
Then it scales. Now, what do you get as a result of that? And this is I love it because it's called the servants economy. Let me explain to you what the servants economy is.
Thank you.
Uber, the company,
Yeah.
owns almost no cars.
Yeah.
People use Uber software to provide their cars to other people
Yes.
on Uber's platform.
Right.
They are serving Uber. We call them customers, we call them clients. Doesn't matter. Airbnb does exactly the same thing.
They don't own any property.
None. Netflix just recently started creating its own content, but most of its content up to very recently was somebody else's.
Right.
And the more you keep going, the more you keep seeing the same thing. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of them are the same thing. So much so, that when TikTok was being shut down in the US, it was a real chaotic issue, got to the presidential level. Because 310 million users of the platform and almost 10 million businesses on the platform.
Right.
They are serving TikTok by being on the platform. So what sense does it make for a business to make it difficult for you to get seen when the whole concept of the business is being seen? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The job is for Uber to get customers. That's the goal. Their platform is meant to get you customers. So they will make it very difficult for drivers who are not constantly in their cars with a 4.9 rating star to be able to get you. Why would I send you someone with a 3.5? I'll lose you as a customer.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
if you badly rate a driver, you are destroying their lives. But Uber is not going to tell you that. That's what algorithms do. They optimize for profit or they optimize for attention.
Yeah.
So, to your point, the one of the question of how do we get up there?
Yes.
I've known said also for a while, but he's really, really good. But there's a difference between being knowledgeable, and this is so important for people to understand.
Let's see where you're
There's
going.
a difference between being knowledgeable and getting people's attention. There's a very big difference between that. If you are knowledgeable, good for you. That's a you problem. If you can get people's attention, whether you are knowledgeable or not, that's the win. So I feel for myself, and this is interesting because Cannes Lions happened a little bit ago, and I even have a little post that I was trying to pull out my phone. I was really looking for it, and I finally found it. And this is what the post said because I found it really fun.
You're talking about now Cannes Lions.
Cannes Lions is this event that happens in the south of France about creators. It used to be a marketing event. Now everybody
used to be advertising, and then
everybody are showing up, and they're just walking right in front of you. The gentleman at the event said the new content creators moving forward will be C-suite business owners. Have you noticed Jamie Dimon? You people know who Jamie Dimon is? Okay, this is terrible. Okay, so there's a bank
that is
called...
very esoteric knowledge, my friends.
There's a very big bank called JP Morgan Chase. I don't know if you've heard of it. Okay, let's use another example.
You use a Kenyan one that we have all
You guys
seen.
watched the School of Hard Knocks?
Yes.
You watched him, huh?
Yeah.
You saw he did Aliko Dangote?
Yes.
He did Aliko Dangote, that went out there.
Yes.
Then he did Tony Elumelu.
Yes.
Went out there.
Yes.
Then he did a lady nobody knows who runs a business for 80 million, and she got 40 million views in 6 days.
Oh, the tech Nigerian babe.
Yes.
Yeah.
What am I saying? When you start seeing people of that caliber, because you know he doesn't walk up to them and say, "Excuse me, sir." That's all manufactured, right?
Yeah.
This is all planned out. The guy even says, "No, my security will take you away." That's all planned out.
Yeah, try walking up to Dangote, see what happens.
See what happens. By the time you see a kid flying from the east coast of the US to Lagos, Nigeria, to put a silly little microphone on somebody's mouth,
DJI mic.
you understand that this individual that he's putting the mic to asked him to come. That is influence. Not you, the content creator, putting the content out that people love. It is the people of importance today inviting you to come talk to them.
Right.
That is important.
Influence, yeah.
So don't be concerned about the numbers and the metrics. 300,000 followers here, 200,000 followers there. You can have 20,000 followers and be extremely influential. Because who are the 20,000 people following you? How many presidents do we have?
Dangotes.
That is what I'm trying to say.
Really, you would also raise your arm at the same time.
I hate sitting on this end because they say everything, then I'm left with it.
Actually, you should exchange.
Yeah.
No. Tony, stay in the middle. All right, you and I will have musical chairs.
Girl, what's going on? They're playing musical chairs, guys.
You play musical.
Go on.
Okay, so let me simplify everything that they're trying to say in very simple words.
Gen Z language.
Yes.
Thank you.
Although I'm not Gen Z.
Unaka Gen Z. You should have just owned it and continued.
You've just owned it and kept it moving.
If someone calls me a Gen Z, I'll be like, yes, it's true. As a Gen Z, I feel this very... Continue.
But so algorithms are computerized systems that work in this way. I'm talking in terms of content because there are different algorithms out here, right? So I'm talking about platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all that, yeah? So what happens is when you put out content, a video or a photo, it reads your content, right? So it reads what you're saying, what your content is about. Then it does topic matching. So it can know your topic through the words and through the video. That's number one. Then there's audience matching. So it matches whatever your content is to the audience. So the first people it passes it out to are non-followers, about 200 people. So if you're interested in cars, and someone
I don't know if you could just hold your mic like this so that people online can hear you. There we go.
Okay.
It's okay. They will catch up, but continue.
Okay, so now if you watch cars and if you have an interest in cars and someone has put out content on cars, it will show, even if you're not following them, right? It will show up on your Explore. So it shows up to about 200 people who are not following you, right? So if those people do not engage with your content, then it lowers the numbers. So the next people that will be shown the content will probably be 50 people or less, yeah? Then it boosts it up. If the feedback is positive, it boosts to about 400 people or 1,000 people. And let's say your video will get 1 million views, yeah? You'll notice even if it has gotten 1 million views, it will reach a point to where it will stagnate and you won't get as much views, right?
So because it's almost like a glass ceiling or something.
It keeps on doing he was talking about compounding. It keeps on compounding, right? So it will reach, even if you have 1 million views, it will still pass it to more people, let's say 1,000 people, right?
Yeah.
And if it gets a positive feedback, it pushes it to 2,000 more people. But even if it reaches 2,000 people and the 2,000 people gets a negative response,
You're right.
it lowers the number of people that it's going to reach. Yes. Now that's clear about algorithms.
Yes.
So what you're meant to do so that the algorithms work for you, make sure you stick to one topic as long as you possibly can so that you don't confuse the algorithms. Because if you start doing cars and about law and about health, once it's pushing out to the target audience, it will be so confused because it wants to match your audience. You get?
Right.
So the content that will be pushed if you're doing a couple of topics will not be a niche audience. So you won't have as many people watching your content because it's pushed to many different people and the algorithm gets confused. So how you can do it so that how the algorithm can work in your favor is stick to one topic and one target audience.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't confuse the algorithm.
Yes, don't confuse the algorithm.
So, Jessica, I know, the reason why you have the position you have is because, with your work with startups and creative industries, you yourself have said that there's a monetization gap between African creators and creators from other regions. So my question here is there a role that algorithms play in this, income gap? And also, aside from algorithms, like, okay, fine, there's algorithms. Is there a role that algorithm plays? And then is there also a role that the policies of these platforms play in all this? And how can this gap be closed or at the very least reduced? And I'll give you an example, right? Someone of the number of followers that I have and the amount of engagement I get on social media in the United States per reel will get a minimum of $15,000. That is a base rate for a macro influencer with good engagement. However, if I was to enter anywhere and even ask for half of that $15,000, I would be laughed out of every room. That's what we're talking about, the gap. So when we're talking about the monetization gap, that's one of the ways it manifests. So again, I'll ask the question again. What role does algorithm play? What role does the policies of these platforms play in this gap, and how can it be reduced or closed?
All right. I did do an article on the creative industry and actually mentioning that gap. I'll go back to what Nabira said is that, and also what Tony said is that how do you actually focus the attention to yourself and how does it benefit you in terms of profit, right?
Right.
And back to what you said is that, this was asked earlier, how many of you are creators in the crowd? Yeah? A couple. How many of you know how each algorithm works on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Meta? That's a couple of hands, right?
Yeah.
So most of us, we go onto these platforms and we don't take time to understand like how they really work and function and how they can be really, really, really influential to you as a subject matter expert, right? So I'll talk about different platforms. Like I am on Instagram and I'm on LinkedIn. I've actually noticed I have more influence on LinkedIn because they're the specific audience that I do want to engage. So I engage a lot with C-suite and a lot of partners and funders. So the content that I put out as a creator, as a thought leader in that space tends to actually have a lot of engagement and a lot of comments as I put out the post. So I think based on that, you really have to understand which platform works for you as a person, as a company, and what is your objective on that platform. Back to what Tony said, I'm trying to address the income gap. If you're using social media for your business or to generate income, supplementary income, then you have to know what channel works for you. Instagram tends to work for a lot of content creators. There's something that I've learned about TikTok. I've been playing a lot with different social media channels as I got into the creative sector 5 years ago as a musician and now in the beauty ecosystem. And what I've realized, if you want everyone and anyone to know your work, get on TikTok. you will get numbers overnight because the content it's what you call a data hungry machine. Who said this? Mark Kaigwa on Moses Kamibaro's podcast. Go check it out. Very, very, very insightful podcast. And if you want visibility, if you want somebody to know who you are from 0 to 1, TikTok will work for you.
Right.
But if you want authenticity and brand credibility, in my opinion, no offense with TikTok, I would actually say Instagram tends to work for you and LinkedIn. Now, coming to, have I addressed the income gap?
Yes.
Yep.
Not yet.
Not yet?
We will get there.
Okay. There's actually something I want to mention. There's something we call the 1 billion summit that happens in Dubai every year in January. Tony, you did mention that the best content creators are going to be C-suite. That's true. I think Sharon Mashiro attended the 1 billion summit in January this year.
Yeah.
And I'm going next January because I want to see. I'm taking myself there. No one's paying for me. If you want something, go for it, right? So there were less than, I think a handful, like less than 5 people from the African continent at that summit. Why? Right? We come back to the algorithms. How are the algorithms seen influence on the African continent? Right? And it goes back to, and I want Tony and Nabira to answer this, like how are the policies evolving for these big tech companies so that we as Kenyans and as Africans can be seen on these online platforms?
Okay. All right. Before you go to your answer, Tony, I want us to watch a video. We actually spoke to Dr. Bright Gameli, and he also has his thoughts about the topic that is causing issues on this panel, whether an algorithm bias exists. Let's play the video.
Do you know anybody in Africa right now who is making money from just what they post? The algorithm is a bit biased. So an African advertiser or an influencer in Kenya, for example, who has maybe say 500 million followers, will post something and will still get paid less than somebody who's in the US. The algorithms were not designed with us in mind. There is something we call a cold start problem. And the cold start problem is basically something that has hit especially the African creators. We are catching up, trying to be able to actually hit the same numbers that other people are looking at. So it's an algorithm to express in layman terms. It's like a bouncer in a club. So in a club, the bouncer gets to determine who gets in, who gets seen, and who gets sent to the back of the queue, right? So people need to understand this is a game, and the game has rules. And if you have to understand the rules of the game for you to be able to adapt. I call it the platform literacy. So do we understand each platform, so how the algorithm works? The content formats, how you post, the posting rhythms, how the analytics dashboard actually works. Most content creators don't even go to look at the analytics dashboard to be able to understand exactly how well their posting has been doing. So, for example, I post in the evenings after 5 or 6 p.m. because that's where I know my audience are most engaging for the kind of audience that I want. I look at the demographics that I've hit and the countries that I've been hitting as well if they post. Sometimes I even post at 11 p.m. because I know there's a different kind of crowd, maybe the US and the likes, who start seeing my content. And I go to my analytics dashboard to understand and be able to see where am I going to, who am I hitting and everything. We need to understand that when an age of data and AI influence, literacy has to be known as well. How many people get to use ChatGPT, Claude, Canva, and Canva AI, and all of those. Canva also has AI integrated to be able to actually see the ways to be able to amplify their output. So young people in the space of creators need to understand this AI algorithm, need to understand the data, and be able to work and collaborate with them to be able to bring the most.
I think let's start with Nabira. Do you understand? Not before we go to Tony. Do you agree? Sorry. Is it something that you agree with? Because he said that it is biased against Africans.
Start with Tony, this one.
All right, Tony, begin.
It is not. It's not. Brett Gamel is brilliant.
Yes.
Let me tell you why I disagree with him on that one.
Yeah.
You guys know TikTok Shop, right?
We don't have it, so we wouldn't know.
But you guys know of TikTok Shop.
We know of it.
So Rwanda just signed something last month or the month before, sometime this year, to add TikTok Shop to their local ecosystem, their TikTok ecosystem. This is how TikTok would work. Typically, you look at a shooter video telling you go to the supermarket and buy this thing, or you can just go to my TikTok Shop and get it.
Yes.
And then you follow the supply chain all the way to the TikTok Shop, order the thing that you need that Shiro told you about, and then it's delivered to your house the next day or the day after. Right? That's the complete data supply chain. We don't have that. So because we don't have that, TikTok doesn't know if the lady here in front can spend more money than the madam here or the. So there's no complete data set on who is in this room of value. I don't know what your wallet looks like. So I'm throwing stories at you with no real benefit for me as TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn.
Just waiting to see what's
into the world. All I have is your attention. Our algorithm is not broken. It's incomplete. It's very important for you to understand that, because then I'm going to come to the money thing. Anyone who makes the assumption that you are going to make the same amount of money as an American with the same numbers doesn't understand the basics of economical math. Not insulting you, I'm just saying. An average American's dollar value when it comes to shopping, an average one, they will go into debt to get the iPhone 18, 19, 20.
Right.
That's the appetite they have for new products. An average Kenyan will not go into debt. They won't.
They just won't.
They just won't.
Yeah.
Unless even Fuliza is tough, man.
Yeah.
That means that when I give you $7,500, yes, when I give you $7,500, and I tell you go and do this content
XYZ.
for this Kenyan, no, because the economics of those individuals doesn't translate, which is why I have come to learn. Again, and Sharon Mashira manages my personal brand. I've come to learn that the value is in getting attention online and then making money offline. My rate card is stupid. Stupid.
Oh, she manages me too.
It is stupid.
Yeah, my rate card is stupid as well.
It is a stupid rate card. In terms of the money that is asked for, we only pay in dollars. It's stupid. But the thing that is interesting is it's not for a Kenyan audience.
Yes.
Because my content, which is done in Kenya, is seen by folks who are not in the country. It's seen by folks who are abroad. Just came back from Egypt last weekend. I was interviewing the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations.
Word.
That's what you get flown to do.
Yes.
You think they pay you in shillings? I'm sorry, they don't.
Yeah.
Because the content I've created has gone to that audience.
Right.
But I still create content when I come back to Kenya.
Indeed.
Because this is home. And I'll create content for you. I'll talk about AI to her point. I will keep being true to my school of thought, my vertical. I'll, step on the side and talk about other things like the Spiro and whatever.
Right.
But I'll keep it true to what I'm saying. The point is, if you start looking at an algorithm as a disadvantage, you're going to miss that the economics of how you exist is different from the economics of somebody in Brazil, somebody in the US, somebody in Europe. It's just different. The way you make their money and the way they make their money is different. So if you rank yourself financially in the
using
same
the same
table
metrics
that they have, no, it's disappointing because we just don't have the same caliber of people who spend money in this country as they do in theirs. I hope that has made sense.
Jessica is even not in agreement. You're doing well.
I have a question on the side though. So how many content creators
You're
are in the
doing
room
well,
again?
Tony, but I want to contest.
Say again?
No,
You're doing
you'll
well,
contest-
but I want to contest.
You'll contest after Nabwira.
Okay.
Yes,
what do you think
please.
of what Bright has said?
So to some extent, he's right in terms of the earnings. Well, we cannot possibly earn the same because we are behind in Africa, right? Even the CPM is different. How much they pay.
What is the CPM?
The conversion per minute. Yeah, so
Exactly.
it's a bit higher in the States than here.
Right.
Because we do not yet have the financial. Also, let me bring it home. I'm a business person, right? So let's say I walk into this room with 50, I go and buy 50 17 Pro Max and I come to this room. Yet I know the maximum that anyone has in this room is 100 Kenya shillings. Will I still go and keep on buying 17 Pro Maxes and bringing to you guys? No, I will move them to somewhere where people can buy, right? Because I have them already. I have the stock. So it's just the same thing. So we are not yet there, but that doesn't mean we still don't have the 100 Kenya shillings, yeah?
Yeah.
So in terms of earnings, for example, myself, I haven't, when was the last time I got a Kenyan client? Last year. So my clients have been Nigerians and people from US, and I even thought I was being scammed, and I've been wondering, what exactly am I doing? Or how comes I'm not getting Kenyan brands working with me?
Yeah.
And it's because they just don't have the financial muscle, or they don't understand the influence that someone brings, and other countries appreciate it more.
So now, do you think then that's a local ecosystem problem rather
Yes.
than an algorithmic one?
Definitely.
I don't know who wants to answer that question.
Let me answer that.
Yeah.
Why I say that's a local, I like the example that Tony mentioned, and I have been following a couple of creators. I agree with Bright in terms of the literacy is needed. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't use a new device, or you can't use software without reading the instructions. Most people do that, right?
Right.
Then how do you know it breaks? And then you're like, oh, it's broken. And then you go back to the manual like, done, I did something wrong. So I agree with Bright is that algorithms that do have a bias, but if you have that level of literacy as what Nyabura and Tony were mentioning, and I highly agree that we need to understand how these platforms work and how the algorithms work. There's conversations out there of there's this Pulse Awards where you have like someone who's really famous on LinkedIn, and then they're not
LinkedIn influencer of the year, Instagram influencer of the year. Yeah.
And if you actually talk to those influencers, they actually understand how the platform works. Oh my God, they're like mind blowing. I spent time with them at the last Pulse Influencer Awards, and I was trying to understand. They actually like go right in depth, tell you how that content is made, how it generates eyeballs. You see, the level of knowledge you have of how you get the first 10, the first 100 is knowledgeable to you. I feel there's a bit of an education gap. And I keep on saying, in this day of technology and content and AI, we are moving so fast that we cannot keep up. And this is where education and awareness is actually important. This right here, Sauti Sessions, is an education platform. You're actually learning about how algorithms can work for you. There's one piece of how content works for a creator, and this is now I'm coming to the income wealth gap. What I've seen the end-to-end, comparing to, I'll use Mr. Beast as an example. Mr. Beast is like one of the most influential, richest content creators on YouTube. Yeah?
Because how many millions of subscribers have?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
he has 500 million subscribers on YouTube. It's insane.
You can have the numbers, Shiro,
Yeah.
but trust me, media companies like that are not making money. How are they making money? He started Beast Philanthropy. He's actually going into partnerships with the likes of Rockefeller and another couple of examples. Rockefeller did an example here. What I'm trying to show is what Tony is doing, what others are doing. They're getting somebody who understands brand communications and then putting the two together of saying content, how you create the content, how you influence the algorithm can work for you to get the attention.
Right.
Get the attention of Aliko Dangote, Tony Alumulu, anyone that you want to influence. Once you get one or two persons' interest, the question is follow-up. The follow-up is in person. And it is true that you need a human touch point to work for you as a creator.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Shiro, I've seen a lot of the collaborations that you do, right? I've seen other creators doing a lot of collaborations. They have a manager behind them. It's not just the algorithms moving their attention and making profit for them.
Right.
They have a whole back.
There's an ecosystem.
Yeah, there's a whole
supports us.
back-end team
Yeah.
actually working in the back scenes, managing your brand, managing you as a manager, managing your videography, photography
Right.
to make this happen, right?
Yeah.
And I think how a creator can convert attention into profit is actually helping that person with the strategy, help you get it to execution. So I've known Tony for years, and you've been a really good public speaker. I myself am a public speaker.
Yes.
And I tell you, local companies do not just have the budget, but I still disagree that they don't have budget. They need awareness. I mean, the beauty ecosystem.
Right.
Beauty brands have budgets. Shiro. They have budget. Sit down with them. Educate them why you, as a content creator,
Are not being paid properly.
Yes.
Okay. Before we go that, we need to go to the audience, get a few questions, and we'll come back. Tony, I promise. Don't look at me like that. Guys, does anyone have a question?
Shiro, I'm actually here.
Ian is back there.
And I'm realizing that we might need to invest in a fire extinguisher because the conversation is so hot. I found two wonderful ladies here, one of whom has said they disagree with quite a number of things that has been said at the front.
So someone there disagrees.
Disagrees.
Is about to come and flip over the
listen
table.
to them.
All right, let's go.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
My name is Irene Macau. I'm a lawyer and a research officer at the Oversight Lab. We work towards tech accountability and just ensuring that tech is not exploitative, especially across Africa.
Good job.
I beg to disagree with Tony that algorithms are not biased. Look, I'll start by saying this. Algorithms are humans. Algorithms are created from data. Algorithms are trained by human beings. Human beings are not free from biases. Data is not free from bias. There is no way that can create something that is free from bias. Again, look, the South Africa Competition Commission, I'm giving a case study, stated this clearly, that Google was self-preferencing news and publications from international publications rather than the local news from South Africa. This is not a specific case for South Africa. This is something that is happening even in Kenya. The Competition Authority did a market inquiry on the digital lending ecosystem sometime in 2021. The discovery was very clear that digital lending platforms crawl and surveil through personal data that is behavioral to determine who to give loans to and not to. So the same thing happens to content creation. When you go to TikTok, you're going to see things that are based on your search history. How did TikTok know about your search history? It's algorithms crawling through your search history, your contacts, and everything to determine your next move, to personalize your content, to personalize your advertisement. And algorithms, thus, cannot be free from biases. They are very biased, especially across Africa. They are not built with us in mind. They are very exploitative. The plan is just to make profits while exploiting our economies and markets. Thank you.
I don't understand. I'm going to go straight at it. I don't understand why you're clapping. I really don't get it.
Woo, yeah, where is that fire extinguisher?
Someone turn the AC on, please.
So no, this is cool. I like it. I like it when people are fired up by someone who's fired up. That doesn't make her right.
Ooh.
She's giving me a 2021 report. In 2022, ChatGPT showed up. In the 3 years it's existed, 800 million people are using it. 800 million. Do you know today, 5 to 5:30 p.m., before I got here, I was on a conversation with the AI team from TikTok. They haven't touched their algorithm in 2 years. They only use AI to write the algorithms. Now, you may be right. Human beings some time ago
are not free from bias.
Algorithm, but I guarantee you, nothing you're using on social media, I don't know about Google, but nothing you're using on social media is being done by a human. Nothing. When you hear a Claude, the core engineer at Go Watch, please go and look at Bloomberg. The recent interview done by the Claude CEO, who happens to have his sister running the company. So Amade and his sister were there. The Claude Code chief engineer says he doesn't code. None of his team does. Claude writes its own code. Claude 7 will write Claude 8. When you get to appreciate just the level of technology you're dealing with, you stop clapping for good vibes. You clap with knowledge. Now, let me put it simply for you, because I'm not here to be your friend.
Okay.
I'm here to tell you the truth.
Do people want to come sit at the front this place?
No. I'm not here to be your friend. Do you want me to tell you the truth so you can clap? I mean, do you want me to lie? What is it?
Yeah.
I want to get you to understand, and I really need you to understand this, and I really, really need you to understand this, because a lot of your finances depend on it. I've looked at this AI thing for just 2.5, 3 years. A majority of entry-level jobs are going to be replaced because a lot of the work we do when we walk into a company the first 2 years of our lives can now be done by the same laptop that you probably will buy and go with to that shop.
Right.
That's the speed at which AI is changing. Then you're telling me that content creators and the algorithms are biased when some kid in his bedroom in some South Carolina city has created some lady, I don't know if you guys saw this BBC story, he created a fake Instagram woman, then created stories about her in different places in different parts of the world and got 400,000 followers in an afternoon. And then he started selling ads. Boy was 15. He was found out because his mom came and asked him, why are you always in your room? And why are you buying these expensive things that I didn't give you money for?
Right.
So we're here saying content creators, algorithms, things are really rough, our lives are difficult. Then some child builds up the system. Now, I want to go to the South Africa piece. I really like the South Africa piece because the South Africa piece is true. Google was doing some really messed up things by putting international stories in front of local stories and not taking local stories.
Right.
But do you remember 3 years ago that Google and Meta were stopped from taking local stories in Australia, in South Africa, and in Europe until they paid the local publishing companies or the local news companies money for those stories? Do you remember that? Then what did the hyperscalers do? They said, okay, we're not going to publish your local stories in your local country. We'll just publish the CNNs and the CNBCs and the MSNBCs who don't force us to do that because they're American. This is why you're seeing that the local stories that come from these hyperscalers are not local. Because previously, the local media houses, and remember we worked at local media houses together.
We did.
They went and told Google, you have no right to scrape our data. It is ours. So Google said, cheers. We'll just go get international data. Then we are coming back complaining that Google is scraping international data and not giving us our own publications. Read the reports. Don't just say things. That she was fantastic. I
One
love
more
her.
here.
Let's be friends.
Shiro.
I need somebody like you in my life. This is dope.
Okay,
Shiro.
but Tony, just like you raised the issue, like when you brought up the issue like of Anthropic, like Claude, right? How this version of Claude is writing its own code and it's going to build the next version of Claude, right? However, wasn't there an initial version of Claude that
And
was
this is the
created
best
by
part.
human beings?
I like that. Yes, the initial version was created by a human being.
Right.
And you're right. That's why I said, and I even acknowledged in my statement, I said the initial algorithm was done by humans.
Yeah.
Then when AI came, I guarantee you, it rewrote all of it with two intentions.
Tony, I want to challenge you.
wait,
No.
before I
No.
finish.
Are you building your own?
guys.
Are you
Order.
building your own systems?
Order.
Yes.
Give an example. Don't give an example
Okay.
of a boy
Order.
in the US.
Let me tell you
That's
mine.
not cool the way you shot her down. Give an example of the work that you are doing.
Claude Code, I'm going to use some words that maybe, I just want to make sure you know them. You guys know Claude Cowork?
Yes.
Okay, good. And then you know, and you obviously know Claude Code, right?
Yeah.
So let me give you a practical example. Customer relationship management, CRM, right? LinkedIn account. So I connected my LinkedIn account. I've got 15,000 followers, 15,000 connections, 45,000 followers on Claude Cowork. And then I used Claude Code to say, scrape all the contacts I have and identify for me people in education technology, in financial technology, and in artificial intelligence. And scrape for me only people who have got C-suite level access. Easily 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Right.
It had scraped for me and gave me about 130 people. Then I asked, could you find me the people, because I'm traveling on the weekend, could you find me people in Europe and in the UK? Because those are the two places I'm going over the next 2 weeks. It got me 66 people. And then I asked, which of these people have an interest in the African continent? Reduced it to about 12. And then I said, give me a rough draft of who I can be able to send a message to real quick. And I got on LinkedIn and I did it. There's your example. Now,
Basic
wait, let me
example.
explain.
Basic example. Tony, give examples of things that you have built, how algorithms and agents have worked for you locally. That's what we want to hear.
Next one.
That's what the algorithms
Next
are
one.
about.
Here's the next one.
And we're not giving Nabira a chance. Tony, you're taking too much of the attention. Please.
Now,
You asked me a question. You should have asked her the question.
I think. Okay, let me just say the truth. That's I think what is going on here, or what has been going on.
yes.
What has been
Tell
going
us.
on in this whole tech world for a while? We have people who have gone to school and studied data science and all these tech things for years. Then we have people like Tony and I. Have you gone to school for anything tech related? None. Same to me.
She said he has.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, what have you studied? Tech? In tech. What have you studied?
Okay, guys.
Shiro, in the meantime, we have a question here.
Sorry. Okay, so okay, so let me leave them out of it. But it's actually happening, and what is happening is people. Okay, now me, I have studied communication for years and years, but I have built apps already in a couple of hours. But now when I come to talk to someone who is in tech, they keep telling me, but the backward. No. There's the front, so that like the back end, you still need a tech person, so that because the back end will crash and all that. And I'm like, but it's out there already. People are using it. I'm already benefiting from it. But they're like, no, you don't understand. You still need, which I understand once it gets to a bigger platform and many people are using it and all that, it could crash. But what is working right now and what is putting food on my table? Those apps that Claude has created. And I feel like it's the same people that say how AI and the sun and all this, and it's using our energy and all that.
Water, actually.
The thing is, yes, and also about iPhones. There's so many iPhones in this room, but people complaining that child abuse and all that, but we still keep on doing the same things. So I feel like it's just the same thing. So we can still use, and we still use AI to build these systems. And so many people I've built a couple of apps that I have even sold to people, and they're working with them, and it's working.
All right.
So I don't think it's
Shiro.
Okay, wait.
that
Before
way.
we need to engage the audience. Otherwise,
Yes,
this will
please.
become So, Ian.
I'm here.
Hi, my name is Olivia Mokora. I'm a digital consultant. And
Hi.
I have a question. So I'm going to move away from the bias conversation a bit and more into what you think about the other factors that could affect monetization of our platforms, because I think we are lacking the infrastructure. I don't think it's a economic issue or a financial gap. I'm curious to hear from you what you think other countries have to offer financially that Kenyans don't, because I don't believe that that's necessarily true. And also, what does the role of digital penetration have to, or even the biases around digital penetration in Africa have to do with how people structure social media for us? Because I can tell you in Kenya, there's a huge knowledge gap, like you guys mentioned before, but there's also the bias that social media ni mchezo,
It's
and I
not
can say
a
that
real
as someone
job.
who actually works in the field and has for more than 3 years, or actually more than 8 years now, that when people hear that you work in social media or digital, they think that they're like, okay, you do that full time, like that's nothing else.
That's a side hustle.
Yeah. So what do you think that kind of bias plays in how at large companies and also social media platforms structure
That
for
is a-
Africa specifically,
That's a great
aside from
question.
the algorithms?
A great question.
Can I answer that?
Yeah.
And then I'll be very short, actually. I think you've answered your own question. I think it's brilliant the way she said it.
Yeah.
There's the, I think I'll call it cultural bias.
Mm-hmm.
There's the cultural bias that a lot of the people who are running corporate companies still have towards social media and content creators. A lot of it. And that's one of the challenges that I find unfortunate about the social media space, because you're not going to see, for example, a bank or an insurance company engage a content creator for a year or 3 years with a long-term contract. You're going to see them do a video for us for this launch, or come for this event and do some videos. That keeps people in a very subsistence lifestyle where you're running from one brand to another brand to another brand, and you're even inconsistent.
Work is very ad hoc.
Yeah, are you a finance person, or are you selling dish soap, or are you into selling cars and land? So you're all over the place. So you don't have the congruence she's talking about on social media. You don't have a congruent story.
Right.
Whereas if you look at our European or American friends, if a person is a car guy, like you guys know Al Karanja.
Yes.
You saw him interview Tony in the UK recently, right? This guy who's been doing content for cars for a very long time.
Right.
I think that kind of sweet spot where you are just known for one thing, that is what would then make companies start paying attention to a content creator.
Because you're a known entity.
Because you're a known entity and you have a niche. You have this guy does. Imagine if Al comes and tries to sell you Omo. Right? You
At
see
the
how it's just
confusion.
sideways. That's what's happened to a lot of beautiful content creators. They've had to move sideways to make things work. And then to the monetization part, again, we mentioned this before. Let's just be honest. We don't have as much buying power as if you have 400,000 followers in Kenya and you have 400,000 followers in the States and you have 400,000 followers in Australia and you have 400,000. Those 400,000 are very different if you take them all and add them up in terms of their income. So why would a multinational company, just pick any, give someone in the US $50,000, someone in Australia $40,000, somebody in the UK $20,000, and you expect them to give you a 50, 20, 30,000 when the people you're targeting together do not have even a quarter the amount of buying power that those in the US have.
But okay, let me give a bit of a rebuttal on this. This is from my own personal experience as a content creator. Fine, of course, our economy by scale are a lot smaller than the economies, in these countries that you're mentioning. However, these multinational companies are still coming here to engage content creators. I'm not going to name them by name because I'm currently even in a campaign with one of them right now, but a lot of them are in the beauty space, for instance. A lot of beauty multinationals are in Kenya. And for them to come and engage in influencer marketing is because they recognize that there's a market there. However, still, the kind of money, like what Jessica said, that the beauty industry has money. In fact, the newest billionaires right now in the last few years have been in the beauty space. Rihanna, Kim Kardashian, people like those, right? And so, fine, our economies might be smaller, but on the other hand, these companies do recognize that the buying power exists. However, there seems to be, again, this almost inherent bias that we're not going to give these people enough money. We're not going to pour that much money into this campaign, even though their products are still going to be bought by the same people that they don't think are going to buy them.
I'm gonna let me.
No, Tony, you're hogging too much. You're hogging. You're hogging.
Wait, let's go
Hold
back
on.
to.
I want to answer her
Okay.
because I feel you've partially answered. She asked about internet penetration and mobile penetration. Am I right? Yeah. Right?
Yes.
So I don't think so. We've quite addressed it, right? Can I stand up?
You can stand up.
Can I stand up?
We
Yeah,
want
because
Kamoto,
I want to stand up. I want to go back 10 years ago, right? And why I go 10 years back is because data reports. Nando, by Mark Kaigwa, did a report in 2014, and he spoke about that report on the podcast with Moses Kamebaro and himself. And the way social media and online platforms were perceived is very different 10 years ago and now. Social network at that point in time was a SIM card. Mark Kaigwa and even myself, we have spoken on global platforms of how technology could be insightful and penetrate by just the use of a SIM card, a mobile phone, and mobile money.
Right.
Social media has evolved since then. So, M-Pesa, Safaricom have tailored how the Safaricom app works for you with years and years of data. Remember, this is what we said. Local data contextualized for local optimization. Algorithm built here, right? So understand what works for you. As we have evolved, right? We actually have evolved to, at that point in time, Twitter. Now, again, data-oriented. Mark Kaigwa's report. When people watched the 9 o'clock news, go on Twitter, spikes like this. Why? Because everyone, if you didn't have TV or radio, you'd actually find out what's going on X,
social,
Twitter, that point in time. So again, to address what you wanted, I call it a wave, right? A 3-year wave, 5-year wave. In the last 10 years or 15 years, mobile money has worked. We've moved to super apps. Now we're moving to social channels. And now we're moving to super apps and social commerce, right?
Yeah.
Social commerce is more for the creators.
We're going back to the brands, and we are going back to how can you use your attention to get to the customer. You can use the power of not only Instagram, not only TikTok, WhatsApp. We don't talk about WhatsApp and how powerful it is on the African continent.
Especially when it comes to direct marketing.
Yeah. WhatsApp started, I think I was influenced by my team at iHub Research to get onto WhatsApp. And I didn't realize what a powerful channel it is now. A lot of the creators that I do work with in the beauty sector actually use WhatsApp as their channel for marketing and getting their customers.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I will also say social commerce is a big game changer for content creators, specifically in the beauty sector. How it works is, again, I'll use Tony's example. You are creating the attention online. Brands will give you marketing budget to provide visibility. That's marketing. What is the conversion? Conversion is you have customers that are actually like, they're like, oh my God, content creator X is actually doing this. Like it goes viral. Why? Because it's not just going viral because of the algorithm. It's because you've been given money. Remember TikTok, they want you to put your marketing budgets there, right? So, of course, it's going to pop you up. And then people are going to see, there's this product trending. What are you going to do? You're going to get inbound leads, lead generation. How do you convert? Correct? So brands, what I've seen, brands, Unilever has got 300 content creators right now that they're using, scrapped their whole marketing team. Do you know that?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're actually using content creators as pods to actually give them visibility and get their profits sky high. The question to you, local creators and creators across the continent, how are you using this information? And I keep on saying, I might throw a Tony and shout at you, but no. I'm going to give you this information and this advice. When you come to events like Sauti Sessions, listen, practice. Go teach yourself how these algorithms work. Go do research, build insights. Why is this content creator getting the influence and why are they getting those brand partnerships? What are the gaps that you have in order to make that money? Let's all be blunt. We like money. Right?
Yeah.
We are not just on content creation for the sake of it. We want to make money.
Yeah.
How do the algorithms work for you and this work for you?
All right. Okay. Let's go back to the audience.
Shiro.
No, you'll answer this
Shiro,
one.
I'm afraid we're going to have a pile up of questions, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll answer this one, Obria. I promise. Wait.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Leroy Muguti. I am a data scientist. Right. I feel like there's a lot going on here, but I feel like there's a lot of subject matter that's not being tackled properly. I think everybody here wants to understand how do I work with the algorithm to make money? And I feel like you're going round and round in circles. So I build other algorithms for a living. Now, the reason for any social media platform to be built is who pays for it? A brand. So the algorithm is not built for the person who consumes it. It's for the person who ends up paying for it. Big brands, etc., etc. But before they build an algorithm that targets a user, they want to build a profile around the people that are going to consume it. So they're going to look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're going to build profile clusters as to the propensity for you to purchase or to interact with product X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how much buying power you have, where you are, etc., etc. And they use all this data for product development. UNICEF would, Unilever would do it, XXXX companies. They use all the data that's scrapped from all these data companies to do product development. Once they're done with that, they again take the same product that they've built and they push it to social media. Now, I am opposed to the idea of bias or partiality with algorithms because at the end of the day, brands pay to talk to you. The algorithms are not meant to listen to what you think. They are meant to push a product in your face. We consume products not because we choose what to consume. We consume what we are told to consume. So I feel like maybe we should have a little bit of a different way of approaching how algorithms work, because they're not built for us. They are built for people, for brands that pay for them. So maybe if we start looking from that perspective of who actually pays the companies that build algorithms, then we can say, okay, fine, look, I can build my content around XYZ, because then my content becomes marketable to the brand that wants to pay for my attention, not I don't know what else. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, let's.
So I think the point here is, how do we make money? How do we use algorithms to better our pockets? Shiva?
Exactly. Yeah. Let's take one more.
Do I answer that or do I wait?
What?
Hi everyone, my name is Naftali Wambalo.
Hi.
And I am talking from one of the factors of production is labor. And I'm from the labor side of this, having worked on helping the people who create the algorithms, and also being on the other side where we moderated the content that you create. And I like the way Tony and the other panelists approach it with positivity in terms of learning how the algorithm works and looking for ways to make it work for you. But what I want to say is that human beings are hiding behind technology. If you are a sexual predator in 1920, you will still be a sexual predator even using AI. And so people are hiding behind AI and technology, but the real truth is the way algorithms are designed and the opportunities they create for others are determined by the people who create them and the people who pay for them to be created, like the platforms themselves. And it runs across all the factors of production. If you look at the labor side of it, the people who are creating the algorithms like themselves for the investors or for the companies are exploited. The data that is used to create those algorithms is either stolen or they don't get value for it. One of the interesting points that Tony said is that the local media said, we want to get paid for the data, for what you are publishing. The thing is that most of these things, when they happen the initial stage, the African persons or the African people do not understand the amount of value their data will generate. And so when they reach to a point where they say you have to pay us, then they are beginning to realize. And that also has been the case even from us when you are doing the worker side. When you were working on ChatGPT in 2017, we were training the model, teaching it things like you can't reply to someone's prompt saying that you're human or you have feelings. You have to recognize that you are not a human, and you have to tell that to someone who is prompting you. And when we were doing at that time, it was just something interesting. We were just doing it, but we did not know the potential it was coming to create. No business person starts a business to give content creators money or to help African countries. No business person does that. But something else they do is that they make sure that they get as much value from you as possible. Whether you are a consumer or whether you are a worker in what they are doing, if possible, they get it for free. And they take their products and their services out there while they are doing that. And so the algorithms are designed to exploit from the start. As people who work in the AI industry, sometimes you're working, they tell you to put your camera on. They are collecting that data. They tell you to take a photo of your feet, take a photo of your children playing. They are collecting that data to use it for free. The people who do Ubers and the Bolts, the Bolt and the Uber, they are tracking the routes they are using. If, for example, a driver decides to change a route and uses a new route, it notes that. So they keep collecting that data without rewarding you for the value. And they make sure they do that. So they keep adjusting the algorithm to make sure that it suits them. Finally, you have to realize that for us, depending on who you are, whether you are the entrepreneur or the business person, then perhaps you are the one who is controlling the opportunities for others, or others are controlling the opportunity for you. But there are also middlemen in between. So while we look at the approach of how we can adapt, and I think the people on the panel are mostly business people. That's why they are very optimistic. And they don't want to say, oh, how AI is doing this. They are just trying to adapt to make sure that they also benefit from the changes that are coming. But what we are losing is the humanity side. When you are doing all these things, you realize that there are some damages that are happening. The culture that we are creating. Whatever was happening in society now, it's worse, because if you are a thief or if you are someone into pornography, you are spreading it all over the world. So there is no need of hiding behind technology. Yes, we should take the approach of positive in terms of looking at how it can work for us, but let us also consider the humanity side, from creation to the final point where the consumers are using. Thank you.
Oh, that's a great. I like what you said there. Okay, so let's go back to the questions and I'm going to talk to Nabwira here, because this is a question that I've been dying to answer you. Do you find that algorithms make it difficult or easier for young Africans to participate in a digital economy?
Right now, it's easier than it was. It is way easier than it was, and I'm speaking from a point of a content creator. I can't compare how much. I started as a photographer a while back, about 10 years ago, and I used to post my content on Instagram and Facebook back then.
Right.
And it wouldn't push as much. I still had to do one-on-one. I still had to knock on some doors. But now I'm here. We've never met before, right? I'm here because of social media. I'm here because of Instagram, because of just putting out content and educating people on AI. Yeah. So I think it has changed, and there are very many opportunities right now compared to how it was before. But I think the issue we have, especially in Kenya, I'll speak for Kenyans, is that we are very lazy to read. We do not want to understand how things work. You just want someone to spoon feed you, and you will rely on someone like Tony to tell you everything, and you believe everything he says, but you really do not go back and study for yourself. If you're a content creator, at the end of the day, at the end of this session, I really want at least one person to take away something and make money at the end of the day, because I mean, we are all looking for money at the end of the day in the right ways, right? So just go out there, study whichever platform. If it's Instagram, study Instagram. There's so many people in your field, so many content creators, tech, if you're doing law, whatever you're doing. And there are people who are earning a lot and making the most out of it. They're not any more special than you are. They just study other people better than you do, and they implement. After they have studied, they implement and post, and you just do it consistently, and it works. And I think even Tony, I think social media has helped everyone in one way or another, and it's much better and easier to earn right now from socials than it was before. It's just a matter of studying what people are doing and implement.
Yeah. Tony?
You said you're a doctor of data science. That's
data
correct?
scientist, yes.
Data scientist, I apologize.
Yeah.
You remember in 2017, a paper was written, a white paper, called Attention is All You Need. You know that paper is the baseline on which all transformer networks were built for artificial intelligence. So for everyone in the room, in 2017, 8 researchers came together and wrote a white paper, which is a research document that says, we have figured out how to train computers or machines to learn how to think. That's a very bad summary, but that's basically it. It's on the basis of that white paper, which is not very long. Google it. It's called Attention is All You Need. That ChatGPT, that Claude, that Go ahead.
Sorry. The same year.
The same year, I just repeat what you're saying.
I started doing my PhD.
He started doing his PhD.
At Guinness, the white paper we did, I did my NLP program.
Okay, here's a call. Just take that. Just
say that again, please.
Yeah. So in the same year that this paper was released, I actually started my PhD and I majored on NLP based on the same white paper. And my NLP program was used to train ChatGPT.
NLP means natural language
processing. Yeah.
Okay, so now let me speak. This plane I wanted to land because this is important. That technology or that architecture, so we're thinking of building, that architecture was a foundation for modern large language models. Now, let me tell you why what I've just said is important. Predominantly, previously, when we were doing social media, the algorithm was a recommendation algorithm. Human behavior tends to be very repetitive. People rarely go outside what they are used to. If you like dogs, chances are you like dogs all of your life. What happened very recently around 2025, I think it was 4, They moved from using recommendation algorithms to transformer algorithms.
And what does that mean?
Which is very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Which means that whereas prior, they would use your human behavior alone to determine what works for you, they taught content to recognize content. So it can preemptively predict what would be interesting for you. I want to stop. Those are many words.
Okay.
So this is what I mean. When you talk to a chat GPT or a Claude, it hears what you say or reads what you say.
Basically, any AI.
Any generative AI. And then gives you a response based on the fact that it's recommending the next word based on the previous word. That's what thinking in an artificial intelligence mindset is.
It's just pattern recognition.
It is basically pattern recognition. Now, this is why it's important to come back to the algorithm piece so that we can help you. I'm not here because I want to make friends. Not that I don't. I really care about all of you. But that's not why I'm here. I am here because in 2.5 years, my life has changed because of content. And I want you to have the same experience. That's the reason I'm here. You are my friend. I've known you a decade. You are my friend. I've known you probably almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
We've never met. Hi. The point is, I didn't come here because I'm trying to antagonize or I'm trying to irritate. No. I came here because I'm doing well at something I didn't know 2.5 years ago. So I'm telling you why I'm doing well. And the reason is not because I'm better than you or that I understand something you don't, except I do. I get how algorithms work. So my point to you is this. Now that you have an algorithm that's written on a transformer architecture, and I know that some of those words are complex, and I apologize if they are. The point is for you to understand what that transformer architecture does. Recognize, all of you are here, and I understand people criticizing me for a point of view, but when the doctor spoke, he never said I was wrong. And if I was, please say that I was wrong. But I wasn't, because I studied this thing. And I recognize that the people who are going to pay me the kind of money I need for this to make sense don't live here. So how do I find them? Then based on that research, reading, taking notes, working through Saturdays and Sundays and Mondays when all you're having a good day in church or at home with your friends or watching Premier League, that's the time I got to learn, so my content needs to be a certain timeline. My content needs to be posted a certain time. I need to have a certain... I don't do content indoors because according to my research, indoor content doesn't do well. I'm pointing at you intentionally. I didn't know that. So I do my content outside on a deck in my house.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is this, to your point, do the research. You realize that people haven't succeeded because they are better than you. They have succeeded because they know how to play the game.
They figured it out. All right. I want to ask the three of you this question right now. If you had the ear of policymakers and the people that you might already have the ears to right now, what is the single most important policy or system you'd like to see them implement to ensure that these opportunities, and in terms of algorithm opportunities, AI, and so on, are inclusive and context specific for the African continent? And also, how would you advise them to close the knowledge gap so that young people are aware that these opportunities are available to them? And this goes for the three of you.
Can you just rephrase again?
Okay, let me phrase it again, right? So now, if the three of you had the year of policymakers, what is the single most important policy that you'd like to see them implement to ensure that these opportunities, whether it comes to algorithm opportunities or AI opportunities, are available to everyone across not just Africa, but the global south? Number one, and also number two, are also context specific for the African continent. And number three, that we make sure that this knowledge gap is closed. Because like you said, these are things you didn't know about 2.5 years ago, and now you know them and your life is great. And you want every other person to know these things. So if you had the ear of these people, how would you ask them to change their policies or to amend their policies so that everyone has this information?
I'm going to Geneva to talk about this next week. Listen to the questions you've asked.
Let me give it a go. So, from practical experience, what I've actually seen, for my world of research and affecting policy, is actually working with the subject matter experts, a policy maker who writes the brief and then takes it to be adapted,
Right.
needs to work with the people on the ground, right? So, like what Tony said about TikTok in Rwanda, it's actually the government implementing, right? And actually, they're working with senior management at TikTok, but also local subject matter experts to understand how the technology, how the algorithms would work for them. So, not to sound scientific and academic, now Professor Ndemo used to call it the triple helix. Triple helix is academia, corporates, and public sector working together. The academia is like universities that do this research and are able to actually publish papers that are consumed by government and by other stakeholders. And then public sector is like the government itself that's able to implement. And then private sector is any of the companies that actually influence the decision to implement. Now, we've talked about that framework for a very long time, but we don't implement that framework. It's always one-sided. There's a research paper. Research is done, then a white paper published, and then you don't actually see the practical sides of it. And then the policy is boom, and then everyone's voting for the policy. So more to answer your question, Shiro, is I would really, really advocate to understand what is working on ground, how the content can be optimized for localization, and then going back to the tech companies and actually working with them to actually train the algorithms from a more localized perspective, and then driving the attention and eventually making profit in both the demand and the supply side of things. So that's my point of view.
Okay. Before we continue, Ian has one more reaction before we wrap this up, because this is looking that we should have done a full day seminar, not just a couple of hours, honestly. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I actually support what Jessica has said. So when we are talking about the issue of how content creators' content is not becoming visible and monetized, we really need to shift the blame from the content creators to the tech companies. Because it's very clear that at the end of the day, this is a systemic issue that is created to benefit some people while at the same time causing harm to other people. So if we shift the blame to the same content creators who are suffering the effects of the algorithms that are opaque, unexplainable, and unaudited, then that is a problem. We need to go back to the tech companies and tell them, look, you need to create your algorithm in a certain way that ensures that, you're not creating visibility for certain content over others. And to be very specific, if I post a video of violence on a social media platform right now, it will gain more traction than your social media post about something very educative. And this is not something that is coming as a mistake. It's a faulty system that is created to work so because somebody is benefiting from certain kind of content, whether it's violence or not. So the action point and the policy reforms should work towards the tech companies to just ensure that there is tech accountability and nobody is benefiting from the effects of exploitation.
Okay. I would love for you guys to react to that, but we have to be out of here by 9. So
you cannot.
We must.
Can I ask for a favor? We will not react.
What do you need?
I would like the doctor to respond to her.
Yes, please.
He's even dropped his phone. Yeah.
Be short and precise. Just respond. Please.
And be very truthful.
Hey?
Okay. So I get the emotional attachment that you have to how an algorithm should work. But I say this, I think, in my first assertion, algorithms are not built for you. They are built for brands. Brands that pay for them. You don't pay to use TikTok. Unilever does. So whatever you react to, so if somebody posts violence and 10 million people say smiley faces, wow, 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 Unilever will pay for that because it gets their brand noticed. The morality aspect of it doesn't really apply to how algorithms work because it doesn't make them money. Engagement does. So it's engagement, visibility, profit. But the problem with how you would ideally want the tech companies or industry to function doesn't make them profit. And the worst part of what you currently feel is we are the problem because we are that algorithm. It's not a preemptive algorithm. How we react to this is exactly how this algorithm operates. So the other lady says 1 + 1, 2. It's actually wrong because there's a variable. The other one could be an improper fraction, you know. But anyway.
As you can see, this we should have started this session at 8 a.m. And even then, we would not have had enough time. We would not have had enough time. So I think if any of you guys have any questions, any thoughts that you want to share with the panelists, we're going to be around as you guys do your before you guys leave. If you want to fight personally with Tony, trust me, he can take. He's over 6 feet tall. He can handle you guys. But we do really need to wrap this up. But before we do, the final question I want to ask you guys is, as the digital landscape continues to evolve, and you said that it has evolved so rapidly, so quickly over the last 3 years. So what opportunities and risks do you see for young Africans venturing into the digital economy? I think that's a great place for us to wind up. Let's start with Nabura.
So the opportunity I'm seeing, especially for Africans again, is using AI to create content. And I'm not talking about these funny AI figures that you see, the films that you see. I'm talking about animations. Imagine creating something, a cartoon that teaches people Kikuyu or Luya or Luo, such things. I see there's a gap in that and people really want to be connected to their roots. So I see a lot of people, I see that gap. If people will do it or not, I do not know. But there's a lot of opportunities in the AI space, and that's just one example.
All right, Tony?
I think the risks are, there's a loneliness epidemic. I don't know if many of you noticed this, because a lot of people are living online. And human beings need more than an online existence for them to feel wholesome. And I think the opportunities are recognizing that if there's a loneliness epidemic, then somebody should start building communities physically, whether it's supper clubs or meetups or things like these, because this is what is starving amongst folks.
Community building.
So that's the first one in terms of I've kind of combined opportunity and risk. The risk is too much digital existence, robs you of a physical engagement. And the opportunities, let's create physical things. But the second one is a little subtle. We don't have a lot of time before AI slop overrides real people on social media, and you won't tell the difference. I don't know how many of you used to see that Will Smith video of him trying to eat pasta. And
it was very obviously AI.
Very obviously AI, but as time has gone...
Now it's getting harder and harder to tell.
He actually ate pasta on camera, and then AI did a similar video of him eating pasta. And more than 54% of the people thought the AI one was
the real one.
So, and he did, and again, at the 1 Billion Summit. My point is, now, to your point, a lot of content creators are going to be struggling because a lot of AI content creators will be created. So there's a very limited amount of time. And to your previous question, what would I suggest for policymakers? It would be to guardrail against AI content taking over the slope. That's what I see as the risk that's coming for young African creators.
Yeah. Jess?
I'll use my experience. I think the evolution of the digital ecosystem, right? I think to what Tony and Nyambura said is combining the online and the offline. In the days that were pre-iHerb, there was not a lot you could actually learn online. It was at communities like this that you actually got insights and tools of how you build. So I think these in-person events are extremely important to combine with the social channels, because as platforms like the iHerb evolved, they were more online platforms where you could actually see different things happening in the tech ecosystem, the beauty ecosystem, and now you actually know who's in the different industries. So I would actually say use these platforms as much as possible to educate yourself, but also have the guardrails as well. When it comes to the use of AI for the young people, young women, young men, youth, and even the older generation, the Gen Xers, what I see is I've seen a lot of business operators, non-tech people actually vibe coding products that they actually have in mind and for their community. So what I'd recommend is 10 years ago, coming up with a business plan and a financial plan and a go-to-market strategy required subject matter experts. You can use AI tools to actually do that for you in like a couple of hours, given by giving it the right prompt. So if you do want to start something, you have an open platform to do it. Make use of those tools. Because what you can do 10 years ago, right now, you can do in a couple of hours. So learn the tools and how they work for you. I surround myself with a lot of young people who have mentored people I've seen grow. And I tell them, listen, take the advice, practice. Most people don't do that. They don't practice. So take the AI tools, learn how they can work for you, but also make sure you have your guardrails. Build your guardrails and make sure that you're not like overstepping on things or like it doesn't work against you, right? So again, Shiro, like I keep on saying, they are so and you know this. You guys are so lucky you have a place like Baraza Media Lab. My God, we used to meet at coffee shops for events like this. Right? That is why the iHub was built. That is why we ecosystem builders are coming back to share knowledge. And you have influencers, content creators like Ian, like Shiro, having social platforms, sharing the information live. So make use of the ubiquitous channels and the tools that you do have to your advantage. You have everything.
I think that is a really good place to end. But before we do, I want to share with you guys a video that was made by the Friedrich Ebert Stiftung. I hope I said that correct. And the Kenya Union of Gig Workers. And this basically looks at the plight of platform workers, any worker who makes their living on a digital platform. Let's take a look.
My name is Dorothy Chepkoech. I'm the National Treasurer for the Kenya Union of Gig Workers. I'm also a freelance writer specializing in research writing. I've been working on digital platforms for close to 5 years now. I started in 2021 in a platform called Fiverr, where in 6 months I had built a profile, I had gotten clients, and I even had one returning client. That meant that I was on a path to getting consistent income. But that was cut short one day when I woke up to an email notification telling me that my account had been deactivated for fraudulent activities. I'd say the biggest challenge I face as a platform worker is algorithmic management. This is where a line of code is used to make decisions about your work, so how much you get paid, how many hours you work, and whether you continue working at all.
I'm Agnes Mungera. I'm an earring cab driver. The likes of Uber, Bolt, Little Cab, those are the apps that I work for. I've been working as an earring cab driver for the last 11 years. The biggest challenge I face as a cab driver is insecurity. It's not secure because the app companies are not verifying the details of the clients. I face challenges like price model. When you check on the prices, we get very low money after working. The third one is that I'm not recognized as an employee or a worker. I'm termed as an independent contractor. So my views are not listened to.
My name is Belinda Comin from Communication Workers Union, working closely with content moderators. I have been working closely with digital platform for 2 years, and I have been very closely working with them because I come from a union where we stand for communication, and digital workers is actually part of our job description. The biggest challenge we face as platform workers is job security, employment, and at times salary.
First of all, my government doesn't recognize me as a worker, and this gives platforms the loopholes to define our working relationship in languages that ensure that I don't get any work benefits, unlike the traditional employer-employee relationship. So we don't have any social protections, we don't have safety nets.
When something goes wrong while I'm working, like an accident, I'm left alone to deal with the matter. The app companies do not consider or follow up if I report. So I'm left alone to deal with the case.
There is no clear platform in Kenya legal framework that covers any platform worker. If there is any which is on board or it's on process, but currently, no, we don't feel recognized because our employers, some are even briefcase employers, and most of us as employees, we go through a lot, and we don't have any legal channel that we can go through to be in a position to secure or to feel safe when we are working.
All right, so that is how we're going to end this evening's conversation. I wish we had more time. I really wish we did have more time. There's so much conversation we need to have. There's so many strong opinions in the room as well, so I really wish we had more time. But I really need to thank, number one, our panelists for giving us such a scintillating conversation, and I've used the word scintillating today. Yes. Let's thank Tony Ndongo, Nabwera, and Jessica Colasso, everyone. I also want to give a vote of thanks to CJP Productions. They're the ones behind the camera and the ones that are making sure that our online stream is going well. So ladies and gentlemen, a hand for CJP Films. I also want to thank Baraza Media Lab. The reason why we're all here, they've given us a place to sit and do this, and they have been our partners for a year now. So let's give them the biggest hand of all. And finally, let's give a round of applause to our founder, Ian Wafula, for putting up with all our nonsense. All right, now, I know you guys have been waiting for this babe. I'm such a fan. In fact, when I saw her today, I fangirled a bit. Her voice is like butter, ladies and gentlemen. And I promise you, after you listen to her and there's an ex you've been yearning for, you're going to text them tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, she's refusing, but they will text. Ladies and gentlemen, Zaituni.
Hello, hi. My name is Zaituni and this is Anariko. We have been doing music for the last 8 years now. Yes, and then we are here to entertain you.
Siwezi ficha hisia zangu, naitaka sana, usiseme penzi hujaonya. I'm the genie in the bottom, no what to do. Promise I'll be good. Promise you will be just me and you. Unachotaka sema tu, 'cause I'm stuck to you like glue. Na hiki baba basi nipe tena. Hakuna kulala mpenzi ni kukesha. Ati nini ati dalili ya mvua ni mawingu. Na ile swali yako leo na kupatia jibu. Yeah. Yo. ananipenda naamini ananipenda, anavyonidekeza mimi ananiweza, ameibeba malaika amenibeba, amenitosha mwingine staki mwingine, ananita jaza na furaha, ananita jaza na furaha, ananita jaza na furaha, ananita jaza na furaha. Nani niomba nikapewa, jamani mia nanifa, ananipenda meniteka hadi kiyama, hapa sitoki sibanduki siamisi muachi, ananipenda mwingine staki mwingine, ananipenda 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 naamini ananipenda, ananijaza jaza na furaha. Commit a crime and I'll be your defender. Overpower me so that I surrender. Ooh, I wish I could be your saliva, so that I could taste your lips whenever I am that hipster. Vile imekushika kwa kweli mazi umebarikiwa, ndiyo maana tunaimba.
How dare you?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is called Huyo. It's my song. Asante sana kwanza, you've shown me love sana since I broke out, and it's just
So fascinating, that song that I wrote in my most depressive states. And it's just so surreal. So let me test out if mnajua huyo namuwaza namsaka namuwaza huyo ni wangu namuwaza huyo namsaka huyo namuwaza huyo. Namtaka huyo, that fine money is huyo, the one from next door is huyo, he must be New Year's Indio, the one who's tall and the sweet melanin drip, son of the lake, do well by his skin like silk, lips ready to ice so gently, na staki, mwingine staki, only tunnel vision, I am focused, I am relentless, tukitaka shtaki, binamtamani, uyo, namuwaza, not loud enough, ntampata kweli, uyo, namuwaza, uyo, uyo ni wangu, uyo, namuwaza, uyo, saka, uyo, namuwaza, uyo, uyo ni wangu, Here's an exception from the rest, and he deserves the best, and none other but myself. Hata nikitaka siwezi toa moyoni, na usiku namuwaza, akilini nimeshapanga harusi kitenge kwa fundi, mwambieni ajue staki, mwingine staki, only tunnel vision, I am focused, I am relentless, ukitaka shtaki, binamtamani, uyo, namuwaza, uyo, namsaka, uyo, namuwaza, uyo, uyo ni wangu, uyo, namuwaza, uyo, namsaka, uyo, namuwaza, uyo, uyo ni wangu,
only tunnel vision. I am focused, I am relentless. Ukitaka shaki, binam ta one, nasema staki, 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 mwingine staki. Only tunnel vision. I am focused, I am relentless. Ukitaka shaki, binam one, nasema staki, 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 mwingine staki. Only tunnel vision. I am focused, I am relentless. Ukitaka staki, binam tamani. If we continue like this, I'm never going to find who we are. Because let's try again. I'm stuck. Maybe I have a chance there. Kidogo hivi. Kidogo tu hivi I have a chance. Not the last song. I'm going to do Tamu. Asante sana. And I'm going to change it up a bit and do a bossa version of it. What I love about playing with Anariko is that we can be playful on stage. We have rehearsed this song so many times. It's just joy. So as I entertain you, we are getting so entertained. So yes. No, Kwanza, wait, I'm just saying that part. No, we are doing it again. Nimependa kapendeka wanasema nimeroba sina noma. Ananifa nimependa kapendeka wanasema nimeroba sina noma. Ananifaa mimi, ananifaa, ananipea mahaba kwa wingi, anipimia, ananipea yote, kashaamua kunipenda msimu yote, naamini ashapata mbabu wake ndani, mimi hapa bado ati ni tamu, tamu, ati ni tamu, ati ni tamu, tamu, ati ni 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 ananijua, ananielewa zaidi, ananijua, na nikinuna ananituliza, ananibembeleza, roho inatulia. yeah. Ananiamini, ninamwamini. Hatuna siri, twaenda na shilingi kwa ya pili, na sio siri, sio siri. Kupendwa raha kwanza na wewe, kupendwa tamu, tamu, hati ni tamu, tena sana hati ni tamu, tamu, hati ni hati ni tamu, tamu, hati ni tamu, tena sana hati ni tamu, tamu, hati ni ay 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 ay. Tamu tena sana, donjo tu vibaya. Amini usiamini, leo pasta wai penda wengine. Nikiwa na yeye unipati, na nikiwa na yeye umpati, na nikiwa na yeye tapati, nikiwa na yeye hakutaki, na nikiwa na yeye sikutaki, yeah. Tamu, tamu, hati ni tamu, tena sana hati ni tamu, tamu, hati ni hati ni tamu, tamu, hati ni tamu, tena sana hati ni tamu, tamu, hati ni tamu tena sana, 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 ni asante sana.
Zaituni,
Thank
ladies
you.
and gentlemen. She deserves a lot more than that. Zaituni, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Guys, the show is over. Thank you so much. Let's also clap for the guitarist, Anariko. So we have a few minutes to network, and then we have to leave the room, please. Thank you so much. Have a lovely night, guys.